How to become mentally strong was one of the most popular questions typed into the search engine for YouTube. And if you think about it, it's for good reason. We live in a time right now that is pretty stressful. I mean, you can ignore it if you want to. That's fine. You can stuff things that are concerning to the back of your mind and not pay attention to them. But we actually have a lot of issues in society today. You know, it's not all sunshine and rainbows, of course. We know this by now if you're a grown adult, right? Of course, we see inflation. We see all kinds of things. I mean, you don't want to sit there and focus and dwell on the negativity, but you want to be proactive. And that's really what becoming mentally strong is all about. So I think when people are searching for how to become mentally strong in the search engine, they're looking for some solace. They're looking for some peace of mind. But what we end up doing is we forget that we really need to be proactive. We need to take action. We need to identify the problems that we're having, and we need to get busy. You know, so life can feel like a tidal wave just coming to crash down on you without you expecting it, and then drag you across the ocean floor in some cold climate somewhere, just dragging you across the jagged rocks on the bottom. And you're like, damn, what the hell's going on? But the thing about it is, when you have a weak mind, right? That's not something you're born with. That's not a personality trait. That is actually a pattern that you're stuck in. So it has nothing to do with not paying attention to certain things that are going on in the world or what have you. It really has to do with you being able to have the perception to identify certain things, certain problems and certain issues, and then tackling them head on and having a good time in the process. Because really, that's what we're here for at the end of the day, man. We're here to have a good time, right? Whether we have rough days or not, it's gonna happen. We all been there, man. We all have doubts. We all have times of frustration. It's normal. You don't want to like deny your frustration. And you know, I'm somebody that likes to actually pretend that I'm so stoic and I'm so calculated and logical, but I'm actually very emotional. I'm an emotional being. There's no question about it. And it's not about ignoring your emotions, whether you're feeling frustration, fear, worry, sadness, or whatever it is you may be feeling. It's a normal reaction. So you allow yourself to feel these things, but you're supposed to transform those emotions into a purpose, into some, there's always a meaning in anything bad that happens. Any unfavorable situation that you come across in life, there's a meaning behind it. You went through that for a reason, and you're always going to come out stronger on the other end. So there's been plenty of times where I've had rough times in life, man. You know, and I've had I can think back. I'm going to get a little vulnerable right now, just to let you know. So you can click off the video if you don't want to see me get vulnerable. But as a side note, I do want to get vulnerable on these videos because one of the things that I kind of made a vow to myself, I was going to keep it 100% authentic on these videos. I just want to keep it real in front of the camera here. But a while back, right, I was in this relationship with a very wonderful woman. She had this very calming energy. She was very, very cool, very ladylike, and very feminine. She had really strong feminine energy that I was drawn to, very much so, very drawn to. And she wasn't from this country, of course. But the thing is we had so much fun in the beginning. There was a lot of love, and it was great. But over time, things began to die down. Things began to get a little bit staticky. But I identified that it was not... Basically, I had to end it. Long story short, just had to end it, right? It wasn't that we were getting into really bad arguments. We were having a lot of disagreements, but it was just... I noticed the energy was not good. Meaning, I was so identified with whether she was in a good mood or not. So if she was happy and she was in a good mood, I was happy and in a good mood. If she was sad or she wasn't feeling good, I wasn't feeling good. But there were a lot of external factors and other things that, probably contributed to it, but I decided that it was probably best to end the relationship. So that's what I did. But the thing is after I did this, it was difficult. I'm not gonna lie. I had a difficult time. For months and months, I felt these waves of low energy, and I just would have to, I would be trying to focus on my work or whatever, and I would have to stop, and I just would be thinking over and over again and dwelling on the past. And, I came to the conclusion, though, that I had to get busy. I had to keep busy. I had to do things, take action on all kinds of things, whether it be introducing myself to somebody, talking to people, random people out in public, taking a class somewhere, just going out on a limb more often, living life. That's it. Just living life and taking more actions in life and being more proactive. So that's basically what helped me in that situation. Because grief and longing for somebody that you lost it could be tough. Because for me, it actually felt like I lost a piece of my own self. Because when you're in a relationship and you become tight with somebody, you kind of become one with them. So your identity is kind of tagged along with them. So when they're gone, it does literally feel like a piece of you is gone as well. So and I use that as an example, but honestly, it's not as bad as a lot of things that other people have been through, losing family members one after another, and a cascade of negative things that have gone wrong over and over again. And you can say, I'm thankful that there's a lot of worse things that could happen in this life right now to me personally, or you, and it could be 10 times worse, but you can think of that and have the gratitude, and that can help a little bit. But at the same time, you're still feeling those emotions in your life from your situation. So I think this is one of the reasons why a lot of people are searching for answers as to how to become mentally strong. And, becoming mentally strong is not about faking it and just shoving down your emotions of sadness or fear or anger or worry or any of that stuff. Because what gets buried alive never dies. It's going to come up sometime. So you can't fake the funk with it. You have to own your emotions, really. But you utilize the emotion in such a way that it pushes you up to the next level. And the way you do that is you take the action. And that's really the whole gist of this video that I'm recording right now. You got to find certain things, identify certain things that you need to take action on. It might be something as simple as going out and taking a walk. Maybe just doing 1 or 2 push-ups. Snap you out of it. You want to change your state, change your physical state. And that's how you change your mental state, because it's all connected. Your physical and your mental are connected together. So it might be, maybe you need to make a phone call. Maybe you need to make an uncomfortable phone call. Maybe you need to introduce yourself to somebody, random people in public. Maybe you need to spark up a conversation with a random stranger. Or maybe you need to do something even more uncomfortable, but you need to do something uncomfortable, because all those uncomfortable moments, those are like reps in the gym of life. That's what's going to make you stronger. So don't look at your struggle or anything that you're going through right now as something that's negative. It's not negative. Anything that's troubling or difficult to go through is just another rep in the gym of life. And that's how you become mentally stronger. It's the mental fitness of challenges that you overcome that makes you fit mentally. Just don't shy away from challenge. And when you make it a point to seek out challenging things, to seek out things that are uncomfortable deliberately, when unfavorable things happen to you, they're much easier to deal with. And you have more fun in life because your resilience is stronger. Your mental resilience, your emotional resilience is already equipped. You have built that up over the years. And I'll say this, anything that I've ever gone through has always made me stronger, whatever it was. So that's what living life is all about, man. It's about taking what you have and making the best out of it continuously. And always, like, compare yourself to who you were yesterday constantly. Like, always assess the situation. Like, okay, where was I last year? Where was I 6 months ago? Where was I 3 months ago? I would even say as close to a week ago. Are you better than you were last week? Maybe you made some changes. You know, we all fall out of, or shall we say, fall into a rut. We may do things like, you know, get out of shape. I've done this over and over again throughout my whole life. Got up, fallen out of shape, got back into shape, on and off, flip-flopping. Same thing with my diet. And I can't stand when I go off my diet because it clouds my mind. I don't like brain fog, so I don't like eating certain foods. Then you're busy and you eat certain foods and you notice that you get brain fog, you feel slower, you don't feel as sharp, and the mental acuity goes down as opposed to when you were on that clean eating diet. And you're just, you know, you kind of hit like this downward spiral. But then there comes a time where you're like, wait a minute, hold up. This all needs to come to a stop like right now. So I think my battery is going to run out. Now, if you want to watch some of my other videos on mindset, I think that'll really help as well. So I'm going to try to link it here. And let's level up, man. I'll see you there. Peace out.